Hey Canucks fans, the Vancouver Canucks have issued a statement regarding the COVID outbreak that is running through the team, and Nate Schmidt has been added to the NHL's COVID Protocol List. I'm Clay Emo, I'm at Canuck Clay on Twitter, I'm at Clay Emo on Instagram. I'm the founder of the GLCPC, the Good Looking Canucks Positivity Club. This is my Canucks take all in one take. It's Clay's Canucks commentary for Wednesday, April the 7th. This is where you get Canucks insight that's positive and timely. It's my second vlog of the day, but I still want to give shoutouts to my Hall of Fame members, Jens95, simalexander, Justin Credible, nucksfan number 29, and Lucas Gates. Thanks for your support as always, and thanks to the support of all members of all levels listed in the video description. You can become a member of the CCC Crew by pressing the join button underneath any of my videos, including this one, or on the memberships tab on my YouTube channel. And speaking of support, I want to thanks all of you for the wonderful messages you've sent me, both privately and publicly. In my earlier vlog today about Tanner Pearson, I did 3 or 4 minutes at the end about what happened at the end of my live stream, and I also did a separate 2.5 minute video for Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. So don't want to rehash it here. You can watch my other videos if you want to know what happened, but I do appreciate everyone that reached out with words of support. And I'm okay, and that was my whole point. I wasn't offended personally, but I can see how people would find it offensive. So that's all I'll say about it right now. The Vancouver Canucks, after basically a week of silence, they retweeted things from the NHL about schedule, game postponements and things like that. It was nice to hear from them officially today. And it was a short 4-paragraph statement co-signed by the team physician and the infectious disease physician. And I won't read everything, but there are a couple, some really important points that came out from this. So the first paragraph talks about the fact that starting on March 31st, the Canucks have had games postponed. And right now, when they wrote this, it was 25 individuals testing positive. And the source infection has been confirmed as a variant. So that's kind of what people were reporting. Then Dr. Bonnie Henry yesterday said she didn't know anything about it. So there's a lot, I wouldn't say misinformation, but there was a bit of conflicting information that was out there. And I don't think people were trying to chase clout and trying to get the info out faster or sooner or more sensational than the other guy. I just think there wasn't a very clear picture of exactly. Everyone has their own sources, right? So there wasn't a clear picture until today of what we were dealing with. And that's why I applaud the Vancouver Canucks for making a statement. And I don't blame them for taking so long. I don't think it was, I think they really wanted to make sure that they confirmed, and they had confirmed what they wanted to say, not only what they wanted to say, but how they were going to say it. So, I don't blame them at all. Yes, it took a week. Maybe we wanted it a bit sooner. But, the first March 31st was when Gaudette was confirmed positive, and now it's exactly a week later from Wednesday to Wednesday. So that's what the first paragraph said, was the games have been postponed starting from March 31st. The second paragraph says, yes, 25 players, but that's now 26 because they've added Nate Schmidt. So in those 26 players that have tested positive, and the source is indeed confirmed as a variant, likely the Brazilian P11, scary, scary stuff. So there's 26 people now. So that's comprised of 19 roster players, active roster players, 3 taxi squad players, and then 4 staff. And my understanding is of those 4 staff, they just say 4 members of staff. I believe 3 of them are coaches and 1 of them is support staff, or maybe, a non-coach member of the team, whether that's a trainer or, an actual office staff. But they say 19 active players, 3 taxi squad, and 4 staff members. That makes 26. Now, we don't know who the 4 staff members are. We don't know who the 3 taxi squad players are, because they do not have to be named under the NHL COVID protocol. But we do know who the 19 players are. And it's Travis Boyd, Jalen Chatfield, Thatcher Demko, Alex Edler, Adam Gaudette, Travis Hamonic, Jace Harlock, Niels Hoglander, Braden Holtby, Bo Horvat, Quinn Hughes, Zach McEwen, Mark Michaelis, Tyler Mott, Tyler Myers, Anton Roussel, Nate Schmidt, new today, Brandon Sutter, and Jake Virtanen. And we know going backwards, it was Schmidt today, it was Virtanen yesterday, as Niels Hoglander the day before that. So the 3 most recent Canucks. So you might ask, well, who's not on there? Well, not on there are Elias Pettersson, Brock Besser, JT Miller, Jimmy Vesey, Jordy Ben. Those are the names that stick out to me as guys that are not on there. Of course, Tanner Pearson, who was injured at the time, as was Petey. So Petey, Pearson, Besser, Miller, VC, and Ben are among the guys that are not listed on this list right now. So needless to say, 19, you dress 20 guys for a game. So if all those, take out PD and Pearson, obviously the Besser, Miller, and VC and Ben were playing. So it's not like it was some of these guys were healthy scratches like Michaelis and McEwen. And a couple of those guys were in and out of the Chatfield, were in and out of the lineup recently. But still, that's 19 what you call active players. Pretty scary stuff. The third paragraph says this, and I'll read this one because it's so important. An ongoing investigation by Vancouver Coastal Health and club contact tracing staff attributes the source infection to a single individual obtained in a community setting, which has since been identified by public health as a public exposure location. Rapid spread of infection throughout the team indicates a link between contacts and the primary case. So, in essence, what they're saying, and they're not saying it's Adam Gaudette, although Gaudette was the first player to be tested positive. So I don't know if that's a fair conclusion. I don't know enough about the virus. If someone who was tested positive later was actually the first person to get it, it doesn't matter. But I like how the Canucks named that it started from one player in a community setting, which has since been named by public health as a public exposure location. So it's not like the first player, patient zero, whatever you want to call him. It's not like he was doing anything that he shouldn't have been, or we presume, fully masked, fully everything, but that wherever he was turned out to be what they call a public exposure location. And then it says right there that then it was from him, it spread to the rest of teammates, coaches, and staff members. And then the fourth paragraph talking about, obviously the safety, health and safety of player, staff, and families, and the community is the utmost priority. A reminder that the virus can spread quickly. That's why it's important to follow all outlined safety protocols. So there we go, Canucks fans. It really, like I said, my main takeaway for today is after a lot of speculation, a lot of people are trying their best to do good reporting, but admittedly a few, not massively conflicting reports, but a few details. Is it this number? Is it that number? Is it a variant or not? After a bit of, different stories, it's nice to hear from the club itself. So I'll link to this medical update, this release in the video description. But in essence, it's all true. It's all obviously accurate, except just add one more player to the list because after this came out, Nate Schmidt was added to the NHL protocol list. Lastly, there's been rumors that the NHL is hoping that the Canucks get playing again by April the 17th. So April the 17th would be in essence next Saturday, or the end of next week, because today's the 7th, Saturday's the 10th. Yeah, so April 17th. So really, that would be a 2.5 week break, right? March 31st, the game was postponed against Calgary, and then all the way to April 17th. So a total of 17 or 18 days, basically 2.5 weeks off. So if you need about a week I talked about you need 5 consecutive days of negative testing. So if some of the Canucks are well into those 5 days of negative tests, then you can start to supplement them with some taxi squad guys as the rest of the team gets healthy. So maybe that's the thought, is maybe guys are skating by the start of next week or the middle of next week ahead of a Saturday night game. I don't know how good the team's going to be. I don't know what health they're going to be at, or simply how much intensity there's going to be. But at least that's some of the talk going around right now, is that the Canucks could play as early as the 17th. We'll see what happens. But I think the major thing today is to acknowledge that the Canucks did a good job of getting clear, accurate info out to the public today. And we'll see where we go from here. Canucks fans, leave a comment in the comment section below. Maybe your reaction to this press release, whether you've already seen it or you want to read it again. But leave a comment. I'd love to know how you're feeling about this. Do you like the tone of it? Do you like the fact the Canucks did it? And is there anything that's surprising from it? Either the number of players, the number of people, the fact that it is a variant and picked up in a public exposure location. Leave a comment below. I'd love to read, react, reply as always. Subscribe if you'd like to. Like this video if you'd like to. Become a member of this channel if you'd like to. Stay safe, stay healthy. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other. God bless, and go Canucks go.